Is this the end for Johnathon Majors? And is this a fall from grace? Considering how Hollywood protects and enables abusers, I really don't know, to be honest.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What's going on, you all? We have to talk about Johnathon Majors. This breaking news just dropped earlier today that his victim, his ex-girlfriend, has now filed a temporary restraining order on him, and he cannot be anywhere near her right now. Now, it's been an interesting month. His management team has dropped him. The PR team that was working with him have dropped him. A couple of the movies that he was supposed to be playing in, he was looked at to be playing the main character in some of these movies, they're not interested. Disney hasn't said anything as far as him playing King the Conqueror. Is he going to be recast? We do not know. The only thing Disney seems to be worried about right now is laying off workers and suing Ron DeSantis. So, girl, we don't know. But I'll tell you this, looking from the outside in, what I think Disney is going to do is they're going to let it play out for right now. Like, they've invested too much money in Johnathon Majors. He's playing a big villain in the new Marvel movies, in the new phase. And like, he was just in Ant-Man Quantumanium. Like, he was just in that. And Loki season 2 is coming out. And we got a teaser that he was in there. We're probably going to see, more than likely, we're going to see Johnathon Majors a significant amount of time during the season 2 of Loki. And I just don't see Disney, Marvel, like reshooting all of this, redoing it. They would have to pay all these folks. Disney's not going to spend no money. And Disney is not interested necessarily in, Disney is not necessarily interested in being on the right side. They are trying to be on the right side of where the dollar is at. Where can we go where we don't have to hurt too bad financially? And financially, it's like, let this play out. We got enough cash to burn to make it through this without being like staying too bad. But I guarantee you, they're gonna let it play out, and they're probably going to announce a recast or something probably later on, because it seems like it's getting more messy. Like it's a story dropping. Johnathon Majors, his lawyer, is saying that there's evidence to prove that he did nothing wrong. But we've not seen anything. We've not seen anything. The only thing that we've seen is some really messed up reports from blogs and TMZ saying that the victim was out partying after the situation happened. And my thing is, it doesn't matter if the victim went out or did whatever, the stuff still happened to the victim. Doesn't matter, like, what they did afterwards. And this is the reason why victims do not come forward. Everything gets scrutinized about them. Every little thing. Why you didn't do this? Why you did it this fast? Why you didn't do that? Like, we don't know. A lot of us do not know, like, how we will react in a situation like this until it happens. As a person who has lost a family member to domestic violence, we just were not privy to some of the things that were going on. And me being so young, I didn't understand. Like, I really thought this is how, some relationships are. A lot of people have shared that victims cannot leave abusive relationships so easily sometimes. Not saying this will happen in Johnathon Majors' case, but they can lose their lives if they leave. So it just goes to show you that you don't know what you would do in this situation. You just do not know. And we're putting a lot of everything on the victim. Why they didn't do this, It's even a conversation about her being, a white woman, and Johnathon Majors should have never been laying with a white woman and whatever, I do not care about any of that, because if you did it to a white woman, you'll do it to a black woman. It doesn't matter. Abuse. It doesn't matter where it's at. I'm just not going to be on the side of the black man because there's a white person. Now, we do know there's a history of white women lying. It's very interesting. I'm even recording this video on this day that the white woman who was responsible for Emmett Till's murder, passed away today at the age of 80 something. And we know, like, white women have a history of invoking, fear of, oh my gosh, a black man did this and like lying. We know that. That isn't the case in this situation. That isn't the case. And I don't like the fact that people are heavily reliant on that. And the same people I see heavily reliant on white women lying were some of the same ones who were saying that Megan Thee Stallion was lying on Tory Lanez. Like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe if we just believed the victim from the very beginning, we wouldn't have to deal with any of this. And what's been said is that some people who've worked with Johnathon Majors in the past have revealed that he has had some like aggressive history or something in the past, and they have seen it. And my thing is, if you have saw it, why didn't you say anything? Why y'all waiting now to come out? And I get it, like Hollywood is just like, you can't speak, you know, on certain things because you'll get shunned or whatever. But I just wish that if we saw it from the beginning, that somebody would have brought it to light. But also people have to listen when it is being brought to light, so we can protect people in the future. Because, you know, it sets up a pattern, apparently. But this is the first time that we've seen something publicly like this with Johnathon Majors. And the discourse around him has been just quite, it's been a lot. The discourse around it has been very, like, disgusting. It's been very, like, sad, to be honest. It seems as though so many people are interested in protecting Johnathon Majors than offering any type of protection or any type of anything towards the person who is experiencing harm, and like who is experiencing harm right now from people attacking them, experience harm from the alleged attacker Johnathon Majors. Like, it's disgusting, and it just reminds me of, once again, what has happened to so many other people in Hollywood, women in Hollywood. There was a thread on Twitter that one of my followers started that was a lot. And they asked, what black female celebrity artists or what have you have experienced abuse, and like name them. Who can y'all remember? There were so many black women. So many. Not even just like Tina Turner. Not even just her, like Khalees, like there was just so many black women. Megan Thee Stallion joins the list, unfortunately. Not in an abusive relationship, but experiencing harm by another male celebrity. Rihanna. Like, these are the ones just coming off the top of my head. I don't even have the tweet in my head, but there were so many. Like, it was so bad that you would have had to put it in different sections, like decade, from 2000 to 2010, 2010 to 2020, 2020 to 2030, because we know more will come up. Like, even going back to the 80s, 90s, 70s, 60s, it's bad. And nothing has really changed. Like, nothing has really changed. Like, and we see why. We see why. We see how, you know, what happened to Rihanna when everything, you know, was coming to light, how people still make jokes about that, how there's songs about the abuse that Tina Turner experienced. Like, it's just disgusting, and we just do not care. We want these folks to come forward and feel comfortable telling their stories, but we don't create environments where people feel comfortable sharing these stories. We do not treat victims well, which moves me to the conversation about a fall from grace with Johnathon Majors. Now, what's interesting, a fall from grace actually comes from the Bible. I had no idea. Who would have go figure, child? But and it talks about like how people in the positions of authority no longer have a good view of you, and they start to move and shun you out of certain things. And I don't think this is a fall from grace with Johnathon Majors. A fall from grace doesn't really apply here. He has done something, and there seems to be some level of accountability. I'm not going to say complete accountability, but there's some level of accountability. Like, he's being called out, and it's about to be a legal whole situation. I don't know if you would call that necessarily accountability, because now the justice system is involved, and we know the justice system does not protect folks in this type of situation, because it's really depending on who has the better lawyer. Because now this whole thing is going to be picked apart, and if it's not shown that the victim is perfect, then oftentimes the person gets away. And we saw that almost happen with Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, like how they picked apart everything, the general public, about Megan Thee Stallion, so much to the point that Megan Thee Stallion is in a kind of reemergence, a rebrand, because she can't come out and be a victim because people don't like victims. They just don't, they don't support them. Like we just don't. We don't protect victims. And she has to continue to do the things that she loves and wants to do, which is make music and be a star. And as talented as she is, she can't wear it, like she can't be seen as a victim. She can't. She talked about it in her interview with Elle magazine that she wants to call herself a survivor. And I get it, like words like matter in this type of situation because Megan Thee Stallion has been made fun of for like a while since this whole situation happened. And the same thing doesn't happen to male rappers when they experience some type of harm. They get shot at or whatever. Girl, they able to write songs and do whatever. They able to do 2 whole tours and whole albums and stuff. Megan Thee Stallion doesn't have access. She has to be very calculated in the way she moves because she is a woman. And not only is she a woman, she's a black woman. We are quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the district attorney with the expectation that all charges will be dropped. Charges have not been dropped. And this happened March the 25th. He was arrested March the 25th. It's been a month. Evidence includes video footage from the vehicle where this episode took place, witness testimony from the driver and others who both saw and heard the episode, and most importantly, 2 written statements from the woman recanting these allegations. Now, Majors' attorney also released a set of text messages to press redacted to protect the woman's identity, in which the latter took blame for the fight. So these are the text messages from the victim. Please let me know when you're okay when you get this. They assured me that you won't be charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight. I'm so angry that they did, and I'm so sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. I only got out of the hospital. Just call me when you're out. I love you. This, to me, reading this sounds as though the victim is more interested in protecting Johnathon Majors, brand, his image, his income coming in. That's what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing. Protecting them. Even the victim said, they assured me that you won't be charged. They said they had to arrest you as a protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight. So a fight did occur. A fight occurred, left injuries on this person's body that the police had to make an arrest. And I'm gonna be completely honest, Johnathon Majors being this rich celebrity in all of these movies and all this other stuff is strong power dynamics of, making this person feel hey, I can't do this to them. I will mess up their career. They will not be able to, do well or whatever. And I guarantee you this was what this person was thinking the whole time. The whole time, she will be responsible for the end of his career, when at the end of the day, Johnathon Majors is responsible for the end of his career. He is the one who put his hands on this person. He could have walked away. I really just don't understand how folks just do not walk away. Even in a situation where someone's putting their hands in a situation like this, walk away. I remember being at Flo Millie's concert back last summer. This woman was in front of me doing the most. She kept stepping on my feet. She kept falling back. She was high, drunk. I don't know what was going on. She was doing the most, and I asked her, I said, hey, you've been stepping on me the whole time. Is there any way you can just scoot up or whatever? And she got very rowdy. She was talking trash. She started taking her earrings off. She was about to fight me. I walked away. My friends was no, you don't need to walk away. She's in the wrong. I walked away. I am not about to get to fighting with a black woman at a concert, at a rap concert. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I left. It cost me absolutely nothing. That could have went wrong. And I would have had every right to keep this person off of me or whatever. I had every right to protect myself. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like, I don't need my lick back. I'm good. I had a situation a couple years ago, it happened in Bulldogs, where this guy was like a little bit rowdy and stuff and like doing the most, and he was drunk, walked away. Like, he literally put his hand in my face. I was like, girl, I am not about to fight you. I'm just not about to do it. I'm going to go home to my bed. I have things to lose. I'm not interested in being arrested. I'm not interested in being put in the back of a squad car. And I'm damn sure not finna be maced in no club in Atlanta. Hello? So, Johnathon Majors is a grown man. He should have made a grown man decision in this situation. Now, girl, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what happens next with Johnathon Majors. Maybe the victim will come out and say that it was her fault and she'll blame herself and she'll do all of these things and da-da-da-da. Maybe she'll recant her story to protect Johnathon Majors. But I think the damage is already done. I'm not really sure how that, if it was to be recanted and all the other stuff, figuratively speaking, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the damage is already done. It is, but I don't think the victim should be recanting if something happens to the point that she had bruises on her body. She had bruises on her body. Like, hello? Like, y'all had a fight? Like, what's going on? Like, I just don't understand how, like, grown adults are, like, having a disagreement and putting hands on. I just don't get that. I don't get that. Like, I've had some heated dialogue with some exes and stuff for some stuff. But I've never felt the need to put my hands on. Like, it's get to that point, it just needs to stop. I remember talking to this guy who had revealed that his ex-girlfriend / baby mama, like, doesn't talk to him as much because, he put his hands on her. And I knew then it was a chop. I was like, oh girl, like, no ma'am, like, I'm just not. And then this person end up revealing that they had anger problems. I said, okay, everything makes sense. Like, how they talked, how they spoke, how they moved, like, makes sense to why they did that. Like, you have a history and a pattern, and you don't seem to have worked through that, and you won't be doing that with me. And that's just what it is. Like, folks just need to understand, like, you can have discussions and stuff. You can have disagreements with your partners and stuff, but putting your hands on somebody is disgusting. And Johnathon Majors did that. He did that. So I don't know what's next. One thing I do know is that Hollywood is full of abusers, and they enable stuff like this. I don't know what will ultimately end up happening with Johnathon Majors and his career. I don't know, but I really can't tell y'all. I really don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments, girl. Tell me what you think about everything. Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.